Sup, you fools? Matt, ESCunited, your favorite Eurovision channel. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. This is Mattitude, your Eurovision live stream and your weekly Eurovision live stream. Well, in the near future, it will be more than weekly, but for right now, as we're getting ready for the Eurovision season, what we'll do, we'll get together here once a week, every Saturday at 7 p.m. Central European time, which is technically 10 a.m. my time here in California, so you're welcome for getting up early. It's not that early, but early enough. So, and we're going to talk about the news of the week as far as Eurovision is concerned, talk it through, and then answer your questions. We're going to answer your question. That's how we roll here. First of all, I would like to officially apologize, because I don't apologize, for being somewhat going on radio silence this past week. I should have tweeted a little bit more and talk, but first of all, we had Thanksgiving here in America the last weekend, and then and I just had my birthday yesterday, or the day before, I don't remember. So I had a lot of family and friends hanging out with me. So the last 2 weeks in November are usually my busiest ones, and I didn't have time to upload any videos, but fear not, I am not tired. I just have to spend some time with friends and family, because they know come January, then I will not be around a whole lot, because it will all about this, all about Eurovision. So anyway, thank you very much for showing up, everyone. Louise, hello from Ireland. Hello from Los Angeles. Pretty far, but hey, who cares? That's why we have the cool thing called the internet. Who else is here? ESC fan forever. You are back. What's going on? Lots of happy birthdays. Thank you. I wasn't fishing for that. I just tried to explain myself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It feels good getting even older. Yes, that's what happened. Thank you, everyone, for the happy birthdays. Starhopper, Tasha Lou, Jeffrey, Patrick, Verkamen, all of you. Thank you, thank you. And once again, thank you. So we are going to go through Eurovision. We had a few decent or significant updates, which is fun. Now, doesn't it feel like now really the Eurovision season is kicking into gear? Junior Eurovision is over. I did my video last Sunday. Congratulations again, Poland, for winning. Everyone knows I was rooting for France, but I'm very happy for Poland as well. Of course, it's a good, solid song. So now that Junior Eurovision is past, now we can focus on the adult version, and things are happening. The Eurovision wheels are spinning and turning. A lot is happening right now. So I'm also slightly behind, so let's talk this through. And before I talk about the first update, I also want to know, I got a lot of requests, and I am working on it, because going forward, we're going to do a whole lot more panel discussions. We want to have more than just me here on the live stream. If you are interested and you're at least 18 years old and want to be part of Mattitude or any other videos discussing the news, discussing the songs, and if you're comfortable in front of a camera and you think you have what it takes, personality, send an email to matt@escunited.com or info@escunited.com. You can also catch me on Twitter. My handle is below there, matt@escunited, whatever works for you. So we're going to put together a little team here, and hopefully you'll enjoy that. But let's dive right into the news, and that is what we all care about the most. Am I right? So we just found out, in case you don't know yet, we have the first act. We have the first name, the first representative of the Eurovision Song Contest 2019. The race was won by Armenia. Armenia was the first act to announce the singer that is going to represent that country in Tel Aviv come May. We don't have a song yet, but we can at least discuss about the artist, and I've been dreading this one only because I have zero idea how to pronounce that name. So I'm just going to call her Srbuk. Somebody tell me how to properly pronounce her name. It's S-R-B-U-K, but she will represent Armenia at Eurovision 2019. And from what I'm hearing, she is already quite popular amongst several Eurovision fans. And that is always a good thing, right? So basically, she has been on the scene for quite some while. She has taken part in she has already released songs in One's called her hit single Yete Karok Is was at the top of the Armenian charts for a long time, and she dropped a new single not that long ago, and that name alone deserves all the credit in the world. Is what every true Eurovision heart desires. Half a Goddess. I mean, that is the coolest song title ever. That's not it. So, and we all know how the Eurovision fans love to worship their singers, but she can't use that song obviously. So that is very interesting. Basically, as I pointed out, a lot of people have already been talking about her, right? I have heard of her, but I have not really Srbuk. Thank you, by the way, for... See, that's why I love you guys. You always correct me. Srbuk. I don't know why there's no E in there. All right. There comes my ignorance into play. Anyway, so Srbuk. She has been, as I pointed out, already a little bit on some people's mind from what I'm hearing. She was already doing a couple of these singing competitions, right? Contests. She finished, I think it was in... runner-up, actually, so second place in Armenia with the X Factor. That is quite significant. Not quite enough for the win, but certainly enough to put her name on the map. And she didn't take part in Eurovision last year, right, the national final, because she was busy going over to Ukraine, taking part in their The Voice, and she finished, I think, in fourth place, if I'm not mistaken. So once again, a pretty darn good result. And now she's tackling Eurovision. Yes, she was chosen internally by the broadcaster to represent Armenia at Eurovision. That is the big honor, and I'm very happy for her. And apparently she already released a statement, and they talked to our dear colleagues at Blocks. And they said, I'm starting a new journey now, which I am sure will be full of new and pleasant emotions, challenges, and amazing experiences. I am grateful to all of my friends and fans who are always with me and have always wanted to see me on the Eurovision stage. I'm grateful to the public television for Armenia for their trust. It's an honor to represent my country in front of the whole world. We have an amazing journey ahead of us, and I hope we'll succeed together. So that is pretty exciting for us to have news. Now, as I point out, she already has a few songs. She's still fairly new to the music industry, like as a household name, but now I'm sure she's becoming even bigger. And this is how it's going to work now that we all know that she's going to go to Tel Aviv for Armenia. Now it's time to send in your song. So a call for all the songs to send to the broadcaster so that they can pick a proper entry will then happen. Now keep in mind, we still have ways to go. It's only December 1st today, and the deadline to submit songs is January the 10th. And that is, so I think you can do math, over a month away. So let's see how it's going to go. I don't expect the single to drop closer to the deadline, which is probably early, mid-March is when you should expect the song to drop. But I cannot really give you an exact timeline on that yet, but be patient. At least we have a name, peeps. That is a start. Doesn't it feel as like you have the very first name? Now it feels as the season has officially started, and it's only a matter of time until more names drop. I expect Austria to drop a name soon. They're usually very early with that, and this month we'll actually have the first song as Albania has their Festivale ESCunited event, and then we'll have a song. Sure, they're going to revamp it a little bit here and there. That's what they're good at, but at least we have something. So I'm really excited. So you can start posting your questions, by the way, in case you don't know how that works. Make sure you stay on topic right now about Armenia, and then later on we have a general Q&A. But about Armenia, make sure you put at ESCunited so I can see your questions. So my thoughts, let's talk about this. First of all, if you watched my videos last year, especially about Armenia, I was a huge fan of the Armenian national final. I thought the majority of the songs were mind-blowingly good. There were so many amazing entries, and I thought Armenia has such a great choice, so many great choices. Even though I like the song that was chosen, Camille, it didn't qualify in the end, right? That was sad. I thought it was a beautiful song, and I'm still bitter about that. It deserved to qualify. But anyway, that's a different story. So I was thrilled with the national final. Not necessarily the execution as far as the results are concerned and how it worked out, but I did love the quality. I loved the quality. So I'm very, very sad that they chose to not go with that. And I can understand why, though. I understand why they decided, hey, let's go internally. Again, last year, even though they had an amazing run as far as like song quality is concerned, they still didn't qualify. So that is definitely discouraging. And then the previous year, they also had that show, but then they just selected the singer kind of thing, right? And then Arctic also only finished on the right side of the scoreboard, which for Armenia is a fairly disappointing result, right? They're used to being a key player on the left side of the scoreboard. So it's been a few years since they really left an impact. 2016 wasn't that long ago, but you get my point. But I can understand why in their mindset they were going, let's try this again. Maybe that's just not working. So, but I'm sad, but I'm looking forward to Armenia kicking some butt in 2019 and hope to see them in the grand finals once again. So some questions coming in. You can send a submission. Yes, as I pointed out, you can send submissions. There's more information on our website. Make sure to check that out. I see a lot of questions about not related to Armenia, about Cyprus, about Melodifestivalen. Well, guess what? I will talk about that next. Don't steal my thunder, my friends. You're stealing my thunder. So that is definitely what's going to happen. And I'm thrilled. I don't know what else to say. We have to wait and see. You know, a name is good. I'm glad that they're picking someone who's really interested in going to Eurovision, that has name recognition in the country, that creates a hype. Even if the song in the end turns out to be a snoozer, the fact that they sent a big name in those parts of the country, of the world, for sure, that is a big incentive to watch the show for them. So fingers and toes crossed for them. So that is what we have about Armenia. So let's move on then, since if you don't have any other questions, and move on to the next topic. And that I have to call some ignorance, because I had no idea about all the details. So let's talk about Cyprus. Cyprus, just full of rumors and hints and all of that stuff. So recently, CYBC, which is like the Eurovision Facebook page and the channel, they've been dropping hints about the entry, whether it's about the artist or about the songwriters, the song, and making us guess what is going to happen. Now, hear me out. And I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer here. I'm not a big guessing fan. I'm like, tell me or don't tell me. Don't make me go crazy about what could it be, what could it not be. But hear me out as well. I can see why they're doing it. It creates a hype. It creates excitement amongst the Eurovision fans, and they just want to get more information. Cyprus, Greece, that part of the country, they are so passionate, and I love that passion, actually, about the contest, about who they're sending, and so the fact that this is going to continue, that is actually good. So I'm not a question, but I try not to read too much into it. I guess that is the point I'm trying to make here. So, so the broadcaster has now released 2 hints on their Facebook page as far as their act is concerned. The first one said this: so, ready for the first quiz, and that was on Thursday. What does this amazing Billboard hit by J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, got to do with the 2019 ESC Cyprus entry? And they posted a link to the video on the floor by Jennifer Lopez. It was featuring Pitbull. Is it the songwriters? Is it like even the title? There could be so many things that could actually have, to do with that. I don't know exactly how far this goes and what we should take into consideration, so I would like to hear from you as well. Do you have any guesses what's going on? Maybe you're a little bit better at this than I am. I don't know. So, but anyway, so then the next hit one dropped, and that one was even more confusing to me. Why wouldn't it be? Ready for the second quiz that was just posted. What about this song. What this one got to do with the Cyprus 2019 ESC entry hashtag Meet Team CY. So that was the song High on Life by Martin Garrix featuring Bon. So so many thoughts about that. Of course, the first clue is thinking is the songwriters. They're involved. They're somehow involved. They may not be the act, but they're writing the song, right? That is always the first thing that you're thinking. Maybe they're just really making a reference to the song style that we're gonna can expect a bop, like a really good house dance song. That would be cool. Eurovision fans love that, right? Or is it really just trying to not mislead us? I don't know. There's also the name dropping going on. That Tamta, singer, is going to represent Cyprus, and then the rest, all the other clues will just be about the song and the style. So I am keeping my thoughts not internally, because I am really, really bad at the guessing game. Because my mind wanders off to the left, to the right, and then up and down, and thinking, I don't know. In the end, that could be anything. So I would love to hear from you. Again, make at ESCunited for them to stand out, and I know what you are thinking. I see a lot of other questions about Latvia now, and the Melfest acts. Yeah, so I don't know about all of this right now. I will have to go through that. I'm just really curious about Cyprus, and they're going into this with a big hype. A big push after, we all know, second place in Lisbon this past year. And Eleni, clearly one of the Eurovision fan favorites, and rightfully so. I mean, she is so likable, so lovable, and so much fun. And people underestimated her, right? They listened to the song Fuego, and like, yeah, it's a fun song, but she will not be able to deliver that live. And then look at her. She brought more fire and energy to the stage than most people have ever seen. And she sounded great. The song was perfect for her. Like, it was catered to her. Even though it was written not necessarily with her in mind. But it worked out perfectly. And there's a reason why it did so well. Luis R is asking, could you do a video about yourself, maybe a Q&A? Who wants to know about me? Nobody cares about me. But I usually talk a lot throughout the live streams, the more casual live streams, as the season progresses, because we're gonna have pre-chats and post-chats after each national final, or at least as many as humanly possible. And you'll find more about me, but I'm happy to answer questions as long as they're not too highly inappropriate. Maybe like J-Lo, it has a rip-off of a Latin 80s hit. Gil Kagan, I love that what you're bringing up there. My question is, I don't think they can do that, right? Can they do that at Eurovision? Will that break the rules because it has to be an original? If you use certain parts of a song, a rip of a certain classic, I don't know if you can use that at Eurovision. That is a very gray area, but with the EBU being a little bit more forgiving lately with the rules, especially in Junior Eurovision, I mean, they accepted a full cover version. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? But that is very, very interesting to see. So we have to wait and see what Cyprus is going to bring to the table. Again, I will not go into the guessing game because I'm really bad at that. I'm impatient to begin with. So the more I read, the more uptight I get and anxious. So I let you do the guessing. And once we know who it is and what it is, count me in. But I'm not blaming the broadcaster for creating a hype. I mean, why wouldn't you, right? It's good, it's good, it's good. So some people were asking about Melodifestivalen. In case you did not know, Melodifestivalen, the Swedish, you can call it pre-selection. I mean, it's almost like a standalone contest. Like, even if they were to withdraw from Eurovision, they never will. But let's just pretend they were. Melodifestivalen would still take place because that show probably has even more views and more people watching than the actual contest, Eurovision, which is crazy, right? So it's immensely popular, and every year, Sweden, as we know, is a contender. And we expect the same thing in 2019. So every time the name of the artists are being released, it is a big deal. Myself included, I'm going through the lists and see who is in and who is out. So I brought my laptop here, and just to take a look at the names. Oops, I keep punching stuff. Oh no, it went to sleep. So anyway, that is very exciting. So there are a bunch of names in there that are returnees, and a lot of them are quite familiar to you if you are truly a Eurovision fan. And the first one I have up here, let's bring it up. So there are, I'm not going to go for all of them in details because we got 28 of them, right? Some of them we don't know, but just some really cool ones that to me stood out was Arya Sayonama. She's not, no, oh gosh. How did I butcher that name again? Arya Sayonma. Forgive me, Swedes. I don't think she's going to win. We know she's 73 years old. Young, I should say young, not old. And this is her third time taking part at the Melodifestivalen in 1987. She almost won. She was 1 point behind the eventual winner. She tried again in 2005, didn't win. She didn't even qualify from the semis. And now she's back. A song in Swedish, that is fun. And someone that is back, some of you will recognize it if you are Melodifestivalen fan, Andreas Jansson, I should pronounce it the Swedish way. So he is his 7th participation. 7th time he's taking part in Melodifestivalen. He hasn't won yet, but his first 2 efforts, he did really, really well. In 2006, he finished in 3rd place with Sing For Me. I love that song. Then the following year, he finished in 2nd place with A Little Bit of Love. He also teamed up with Carola at some point, trying to represent Sweden in Melodifestivalen, but they didn't make it past the second chance round. Then his results gotten worse and worse gradually. He didn't even qualify from the semis at some point. So hopefully this year is going to be his good year. Some other names that are standing out: Liamo, he was taking part last year in Melodifestivalen, making it to the finals. Popular singer and rapper, apparently, in Sweden. Teaming up with a singer called Valdero, so maybe this will be his year. Another former FO&O member, the band that took part in Melodifestivalen, is also taking part now as a solo artist, Oscar Enestad. And I'm going to tell you who I feel excited about in just a second. Victoria is back. Victoria, one of the fan favorites, myself included. Victoria also tried her luck at Melodifestivalen twice, in 2016, in 2017, qualifying each year immediately right away to the grand finals, doing really well with the televotes. Not so well with the juries usually. They always drag her down. They're not into the pop country style. I love her music. I love her voice. Maybe this year the juries will a little bit more kind to her should she qualify for the finals. And of course, Nano is back. Nano, who won the televote in 2017, but the juries were like, we want Robin Bengtsson, and they got their wish. So Nano left out, even though he won the televote in 2017 with Hold On. Now he's back 2 years later. Jon Henrik Fjällgren, he is back as well. His 3rd attempt, I just love him. I think he brings so much to the contest, more than some of the other ones. His Sami music, it's just so beautiful, a different language, and it is just mesmerizing. Is that the right word? I guess. And he always does so well in the televote, and just not quite enough. He finished in 2nd place in 2015 behind Marcel Malo. In 2017, he finished in 3rd place overall. He is definitely a threat to win this all, and I would welcome it. We need something different. Yes, my last video, I criticized Melodifestivalen for sending like young male singers with the same kind of pop music. He is he's young still. He's only in his early 30s, I think. But he also is not, you cannot compare it to what Sweden has sent in the past. So I'm not worried about singing another male per se. I just wanted them to send something different. So this would be a really good chance. And I'm thrilled about Linda Hedlund. She was part of Alcazar, my favorite band of all time, who recently disbanded. Now she is trying her luck as a solo artist. Dolly Style is back. Those crazy girls with the crazy wigs. 3 times the charm, but from what I'm hearing, the entire band members, all of them have been replaced already. So the name's the same, but the singers, they have nothing to do with the first time they took part. It's just the brand, the act that is still in the running. And I'm really excited about that. because I like returnees in Melodifestivalen, only because I don't know all the newbies. John Lundvik is back. The coming out of nowhere sensation last year with a beautiful ballad that he performed, and My Turn. And it was his turn, at least, making it to the finals. He directly qualified, did really well. I think he finished in 3rd place overall. What an amazing entry he had, and leave an impression. And of course, he was invited back. No surprise there. Hopefully, he can do it this year, maybe. Let's see what he's going to bring to the table. All you Polish fans out there, you can be happy too. Margaret is back. Margaret first really came to attention in 2016 when she was the clear favorite to win the Polish national final. Yeah, she's from Poland, and her song Cool Me Down was a fantastic, catchy song. Didn't quite work on the national final stage, and she lost, finished in 2nd place. Then, 2 years later, Melodifestivalen called and like, hey, want to take part? And she did. She made it for the 2nd chance round to the grand final. And yes, she is back. It's great exposure for her, right? For her career. So I don't blame her. And another big name, people. Another big name. Anna Bergendahl. Anna Bergendahl is back. If you live under a rock and you haven't watched Eurovision for a very long time, let me tell you, she actually represented Sweden in 2010 with This Is My Life, but this was not her night, because she is the first and only act to date from Sweden to fail to qualify from the Sweden. Other than that, they have a flawless record. So that's a little stain on Sweden's track record, but it happens to every country, right? Now, besides Ukraine and technically Australia, they have, nobody qualifies all the time. And so it's sad, but this is, if you were the act that is not qualifying, it sucks. So she was a little burned after this, but 9 years later, she is back. So I'm going to talk about the acts in just a little bit. I just want to go through some more. Who else? Martin Stenmark. Martin Stenmark represented Eurovision, Sweden in 2005 with Las Vegas, a song I did not care for at all, but hear me out. Then he took part a few more times in Melodifestivalen, I think 2 more times, I want to say. Every time he takes part, I love his music. He sings in Swedish, and it is him. It is his style. I love his voice. I love his interpretation. And now he's trying again. Hopefully it's something similar. I think it is maybe not very easily accessible to the mainstream, but it's a good singer. So Anton Hockman is back. He really upset a lot of Lorraine fans in the 2nd chance round a couple of years ago. He kicked her out. Moving on to the finals, and that was a shocker. And now he's back again. So he's back. And who else do we have? Those are the biggest names that stood out to me here. There are a few more, but I cannot go through them all. But there are a bunch of returnees, and at least, if I'm not incorrect, 2 former Eurovision participants. Martin Stenmark, 2005, Anna Bergendahl, 2010. Both of them didn't do well at Eurovision. Maybe it's time for revenge. So as far as you ask me who I'm excited about the most, me personally, I love Victoria. I pointed that out. I love Victoria's music. As I Lay Me Down was my favorite that year, and I was so bummed out that it didn't win, but I knew as soon as the jury results came in that she had no shot at winning. And after 2 years of disappointing results with the juries, I'm worried if she sticks to the same style, and that's her, I guess, and it makes sense. I don't think she's going to qualify, so my expectations are low when it comes to her chances, but at least I'll have another great song that I can hopefully a great song that can I add to my playlist. And as I pointed out, Martin Stenmark, I find his music very, very authentic, real, and he is a polished performer. He knows who he is. He's been doing this for a long time. And I do like that they have in Melodifestivalen a good amount of older singer. I mean, they have people in the 80s taking part. Martin Stenmark is only in his mid-40s. He's not that old, right? But I like that there's a little bit more variety rather than always the 20-year-old singers. They have them, and they tend to win the contest. But I'm glad that there's a whole lot more variety. Now, keep in mind, we will not have any names. We have the names. We have the song titles as well. But you will not hear the songs. You will not get to hear the songs until they start rehearsing, which will then be in sometime early February, or is it late January? Anyway, whenever the first semifinal takes place, which I think is early February, a few days prior to that, they start rehearsing, and then they release like a 20-second clip of rehearsals. You get the first peek preview of the song, then they'll release a longer clip, and then eventually like the song. So it's going to be a long time. Melodifestivalen, SVT, they're very much about creating a hype, keeping the song a secret. We have to wait and see how it's going to pan out. It sucks because we want to hear them, but it's part of the Melodifestivalen experience. At least we have names, so I would like to hear from you. Shout at me at ESCunited. Who are your favorites? I would love to hear. Do you think that artists who try many times to win with the national finals, I think some of them lose quality in their song, like Marcus Riva or Mariette? Yes, it can happen. It really comes down to what your attitude is about this as well. I need a little bit of coffee. Your attitude about taking part. Are you going in there desperately trying to win the thing? Or are you trying to go in there just making sure that you want to display and highlight your music to the public? And if you win, great. And if you don't, so be it. Melodifestivalen is a great way to just put your music on display. And even if you don't win, it's good. Kind of like other contests, right? So I don't necessarily think that just because you take part a whole lot, it's a bad thing. Think of Sanna Nielsen. I think she won Melodifestivalen on her 7th attempt in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. And then went on to Eurovision, finishing in 3rd place, became one of the favorites. So anything is possible. But to answer your question, yes, there is a possibility. If you're desperate trying to win Melodifestivalen, or like any national final, I should say, I think you run the risk of sacrificing your artistical integrity and going with something that you think would do well at the contest. And then it doesn't click with the audience. Then you go with something maybe dancey or pop that you think or you perceive as a song that could potentially do well at Eurovision. And then even if they end up winning, they flop at Eurovision. That's the thing. That's the beauty about Eurovision. You never know what clicks with the audience. And sometimes the biggest dance song, I'm Not Your Toy, does well. But then the year prior, we had this beautiful Portuguese, sad, melancholic ballad win. And then the year before, we had a song about war win. And you never, ever... And then the year before, I'm just talking about the televote right now, the Italian pop opera won the televote. Right? So I'm just talking about that right now. So you never know what's going to happen. That's the beauty about Eurovision. So I don't have a problem with people taking part in the national finals over and over again, as long as they don't sacrifice who they are as an artist, like their artistic soul. Does that make sense? I'm rambling. So, it's not my kind of music, but I'm really curious about Mohambi since he is a world-famous artist. Yes, he had this big smash hit in 2005, I think. Was it called Bumpy Ride? I forgot the name of it. So he's taking part as well. He took part before with his brother years ago. Didn't work. So I'm curious. I mean, it's been a while, right, since he had this big hit. I don't know if he had any other hits in between. So he may also have matured into a different artist, right? When you first start out, you may not know really who you are. And you send something a little bit more or less what you are. And then now that you have a little bit more experience, you go with something a little bit more sophisticated. And you know who you are. And that may be different. So, did you see that Sandra Nursalu come back for Representative Estonia after the fantastic entry in 2009? I'm so excited. We're going to talk about Estonia in just a minute, just really briefly, because I'm a little bit behind. Thank you, Eurotower, for the super chat. This always helps, because I'm going to have a lot of costs going to London and Amsterdam and Eurovision. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to declare bankruptcy soon. My question is, what is your opinion of the 1987 entry by Plastic Bertrand, L'amour, l'amour? Okay, now you caught me off guard. I need to look that up real quick. It doesn't stand out to me right now. What was Luxembourg 1987? You know, I listened to them all, but I don't remember the song. So hang on. Amour, amour. Amour. If I type Amour, Armenia comes up. Luxembourg, 1987. What the heck? Luxembourg, 1987. Oh, I just see the picture. I needed to see the picture. I needed to see the thumbnail of the song. I had fun with it. I always forget about that song only because 1987 overall wasn't necessarily my favorite year, per se, song quality-wise, but when I think back of 1987, I think Ireland, The Winner stands out. I think Cyprus stands out, because I love that song. And I think I would put probably Luxembourg in my third place that year. So if I had to do a ranking, but I would have to look at all the songs right now, but I think those are the three songs, even though I didn't remember the name, when I see the picture, I'm like, yeah. It's fun. It's fun. Thank you, by the way, for your support. I genuinely, truly appreciate it. So, Melodifestivalen is hard to win because so many semifinal songs. Yes, Peter, that is true. And here's the thing about Melodifestivalen, I'm going to do not criticize a lot. Let me just, it's not even the word criticism is the right word. Let's talk, the caveat. The caveat is that in the semifinals, only the televoters get to vote, and in the finals, it's the jury and the televote. So the jury opinion doesn't really flow into the semifinalists. And then you see often this big discrepancy between televote and juries in the finals, right? And that is just something that is unfortunate. I also don't like the voting system in Melodifestivalen with the app because the votes are so close, and I'm okay with it in the semis, but in the finals, it doesn't help because you distribute points on a percentage base, right? So if you get 20% of the vote, you get 20% of the points. And if you vote for multiple countries, there's like a 10% gap between the first and the last place, and it just doesn't really work well. And then the juries decide who goes to Eurovision, and I don't like that. So it is very difficult to really win Melodifestivalen in this day and age. You need to send something that is very jury friendly, and in Melodifestivalen I don't like the jury friendly songs. I never do. So it happened with I Can't Go On, Dance You Off. I just didn't like these songs. They're just not for me. But anyway, this is definitely the Melodifestivalen names are out. A big deal. Again, I said Victoria, I said Martin Stenmark, and I'm really looking forward to Anna Bergendahls comeback. I was not a fan of This Is My Life at all. I was not too sad it didn't qualify. I was sad for her because it was heartbreaking, but I wasn't into the song. So I'm hoping that she comes back. And one thing also really interesting, because Anna was also really young when she took part in Melodifestivalen with This Is My Life. I wasn't a big fan of her voice then. She can sing, but I had a big problem with her gold vibrato that was a little bit over the top, and it was slightly distracting. So I listened to after the the artist announcement, Melodifestivalen. I checked out, like, I'm curious how she's doing, like how she has matured, right, as a singer. And she has matured so much. Her voice sounds like deeper and not raspy, but she has this deep alto voice, and she seems like really found a place, and she sounds amazing. So with the right song, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? So I'm really excited about Melodifestivalen, and hopefully that will not let us down. And we're going to get a televote-friendly song. Not that the other ones weren't that televote-friendly, except for 2018, but you get my point. So let's talk about this. I saw a few questions about Latvia. In case you did not know, Latvia this past week released the 33 audition tapes of the songs, and people were asking, no, I have not listened to them yet because this past week I was busy with Thanksgiving, with my birthday, and I also have to admit I procrastinated a tiny little bit. It stays between us. I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 online, and the single-player game. Any gamers out there, let's meet up in the game. So I was, for a day or two, I was just like playing my game. I needed some match time. So the week was busy. The point is, I have not listened to the songs yet. But I'm almost hesitant because I watched your chat right now and you spoiled it for me. I tried to stay away from the news, but apparently the songs suck. That is what I'm hearing. The songs really, really suck. Anton Vala says, good evening from just listening Estilau. This was just bad, full of radio-friendly crap. So sad. No, Talina 2020. I'll talk about that in a second. Let me just finish my Latvia thinking or thoughts. I will listen to them. I will listen to them either tonight or tomorrow. I am less critical. I like to listen to the songs, and I don't know how good the quality is, like the sound quality, and if it's really the final product, or if they have the ability to make a few changes here and there. I know that they're supposed to have like a more full version of their song, but I'm pretty sure there are going to be some adjustments. I like to look at the good and the bad. I don't like to, like, even when we do the ESCunited ranking, like, of the Eurovision songs, I don't like to give 10, 10, 10. I love it. 1, 1, 1. I hate it. No, I'm very, very, I try to be fair. So I usually start out with a 5 and then work up with the pros, and you get more points as the pros. And then if it's negative, the minus. And so I hardly ever give points less than 4 or 5, right? Because I think that a lot of songs have redeeming qualities. And just because I don't necessarily click with it doesn't make it a bad song per se. But that being said, and please tell me, guys, am I being too nice? Is Latvia really that bad? It's unfortunate to hear that, right? And especially after 2018. I mean, 2018 was one of the best years we've had in a long time, song quality wise, right? And also just the wide range of song genres. It was such a good year. I will always remember as 2018 as a standout year for many different reasons. So it's a tough act to follow. So if we started with a snoozer right away with Latvia, that would be very, very disappointing. So we have to wait and see. I have not listened to them yet. I will do that. And people are asking, like, Diogo Silveira, what's up, dude? Did you check the Estonian songs yet? I saw somebody else. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to read the chat and I lost my train of thought here. Eurotowley, you said I rock. Oh, I play Red Dead Redemption. I try to have a life right now, real life, but it's canceled until further notice because I can't stop playing it. I suck at it. I'm really bad at it, but I don't care. It's just so much fun. Anyway, the point is about Estonia. Estonia, I haven't listened to them yet either. As a matter of fact, you told me right now that the songs are out. That's how far behind I am. I feel horrible. I'm supposed to bring the news to you, not vice versa. So I have not listened to the Estonian Estilau songs yet. I love Estilau. I'm an Estilau boy, and I love the national final, and we have to wait and see. Somebody said that they're all very radio-friendly pop songs. That usually is a big red flag for me because that sounds like a safe song. That doesn't mean you cannot have a good radio-friendly song. Sometimes you have something that really stands out. I think the songs that really are dangerous, and even though I often love the songs, are the coffee shops, you know, songs I like to enjoy driving to, songs that kind of are very pleasant to your ear, but don't stand out. They're still good, solid songs, but when it comes to Eurovision, you have to accept the reality that you need to have a standout song. So we have to wait and see how that's going to pan out. You cannot have just a good song that you would vote for. Although I'm gonna throw something out there to you guys in just a second. The juries will rank them. It's going to be a little different, but the televote only votes for their favorites. So I'm going to talk about something real quick here. If you watched or voted in Junior Eurovision, so if you have to go online and vote, and when you do that, you have to vote for at least 3 songs, right? So you had 20 songs that were taking part. You go online and you vote. So if, let's just say I'm German and Germany is not taking part, I am German, but just not to criticize any other country. So let's say I am Germany and I'm close friends with Austria. So I'm just going to vote for the Austrian song because, you know, they're my neighbors and my friends. And you cannot just do that. You have to vote for at least 3 songs. So I would have to click Austria and then pick 2 other songs that I liked. You can vote for up to 5 songs that you like in one vote, right? So I'm thinking maybe that brings down the number or the power of diaspora. I thought it was very interesting. So I would like to hear that from you. Is that something we should consider for Eurovision as well? So when you vote online, you have to vote for at least 3 songs and not just your favorite or your country or your diaspora, whatever. Maybe bringing the numbers a little closer. I thought it was interesting, so I need to sit down and think that through. So I would like to hear from you as well. So we have to wait and see, but I would like to hear thoughts from you. Kan Akin is saying, how much do you miss us? I am desperate ESC fan from Turkey. Kan Akin, you need to watch my Turkey reaction video and you know the answer. I miss Turkey lots. I understand that there's a political situation that is beyond anyone's control right now, and it sucks. It sucks for people like you, a true fan who just wants to take part, and it sucks. It just sucks. I understand why they're not taking part and why it's not happening right now, but I miss them dearly. I think it goes without saying. And there's Turkey brought a lot of views, first of all, to Eurovision. There's so many fans out there, and I don't know why, but I always click with the Turkish fans. It's just a thing. We're on the same wavelength. Have you heard the news on You Decide, Meisterhood? I saw that we had some news about the potential hosts, and but that's about it. If there's something else that's going on, let me know. Now. So, there was a funny German song about cats, Anton. I don't know what song you're talking about, like recently? I know the musical Cats. Let me know if there's a specific song that you're talking about. Anyway, this is your last chance to just throw your last-minute questions at me. Let's open the general Q&A session. Let's tell me if there's anything else you want to talk about the news of the week that I have not covered, and then let's have a dialogue. If you have any questions about me, about anything else you want me to talk about, here is your opportunity. Make sure you put at ESCunited or I will not see it. So let's see a few. Lek M is saying, yes, we have something to the Western countries, have nothing to say about Eastern countries doing well. That's actually because they're the best. I mean, we have to look at it objectively. I mean, I think I hate picking on people, but let's just say certain Western countries, I'm not going to say which, they tend to have a little chip on their shoulder thinking, well, why is these countries are always voting for one another? And it happens to a certain extent, no deny. But those countries, a lot of countries take Eurovision so seriously. And that's why they send the best of their best. And that's why they, on average, do better lately. Not all of them, but yes, I totally agree with that sentiment. And this is not really, and this doesn't necessarily apply to the Eurovision fans like you people. You all are a lot more humble than that. But yeah, it's like, it's because everyone hates us. I'm like, no, I just hate your attitude. All right, so did you hear and see the rebel suggestion for an Austrian entry by Hayan Fischer im Rausch der Zeit? Too much provocation for a show in Israel. I don't know what Hayan Fischer is. It like I don't want any kind of political stuff. So if that's the case, so I say no. I say no to that. Okay, Anton Walasing was talking about Estilau with that German cat song. Oh, Estilau, got it. And by the way, just started studying German at school. Well, wonderful. If you need any help, you know where to find me. Although my German sucks these days because, you know, if you don't use it, you lose it. There's a German song in Estilau. That is hilarious. I'm going to check that out. I get to sing along. I think that's cool. Which is your hometown in Germany? ESC Laura, I'm from a very rural place, central Germany, a town of 5,000. There is nothing nearby. I was born in a city called Wolfenbüttel, a city with like 50,000 people. Jägermeister is from there, and it's central Germany, basically northern central Germany, close to the border, the old border, you know, where the GDR was. And there's a city nearby, about 30-minute drive, called Braunschweig. So nothing is happening there. I grew up very rural. I was not near a big city. Berlin was like 2 hours east. Hamburg was like 2 hours north at least. So that's where I'm from. Those Germans may have heard of Braunschweig, but that's about it. But no one's ever been there. There's no reason to go to Braunschweig. Do you think Eleni Ferreira should go again to Eurovision? You know, even though she did not win, I feel as she has mastered Eurovision. I don't know if winning will add anything to her resume besides giving Cyprus the win, assuming she's going back for Cyprus. I'm not opposing it because she had fun, but she will always be compared to her Fuego, and it's going to be very difficult to live up to that. Very, very difficult. So she should have to think twice about it. I think she did what she had to at Eurovision, and now it's time for her to focus on her career. I think it would not be necessarily the wisest thing from a career perspective for her, But I'm not discouraging her because I would love to have her back. I think she's amazing. She is so likable. The team, and I want to give a shout out to the Cyprus team. They're the nicest people. The head of delegation, the head of press, they have been so nice and kind to us and everyone else. And I just love working with them. And I hope to see them all again in Tel Aviv and give you a big hug. There's the greatest people, so I'm a little biased when it comes to Cyprus anyway. You try, I mean, I will not just like a song because it's Cyprus. But it's wonderful. So I would be happy to have her back. But you get my point, right? You get my point. The other news you decide is that they've completely changed the format. 2 out of 6 singers will sing one of the 3 songs and take part in song-offs. I now Meisterhood. Oh, that is what's happening. If that's what's happening with You Decide, here is my response. Not a fan. I hate that whole let's sing the song together and which one artist you like better. No. And I'm German. But I'll give Germany, and I was very critical of my German selection process in the past. But let's be real, last year they did a great job with picking the right song for the right singer. They had that workshop, they had artists and songwriters work hard on a song that matches with their style, with their voice, and that just works better. It works better. It doesn't always translate into success, but it seems more genuine and right. But when you do that kind of stuff, yes, it worked for Lena in some sense in 2010, but it's hit or miss with that. I prefer songs that are written for the act, or at least worked with them and make sure that it works. It seems more authentic and often just works better. So I don't enjoy these shows with these confusing, let's sing one song of the 3 songs and then take part in the sing-off stuff. I hate. Not a fan. Not a fan. I don't like The Voice. I don't like The X Factor. I don't like any of these shows. It's just not for me anyway. ESC Laura says, I know Braunschweig. Yay. How old were you when you left Germany? 17, I want to say. It's been a while. So yes, good times. Or 18? Gosh, you caught me off guard here. I think 18. No, I had to be 18. 18. Yes. So what else do we have? Ask your questions at ESCunited. Lek M is asking, what artists would you like to see returning? Here's the thing. There are artists I would like to see return, but I don't think they should return, if that makes sense. Would love to see Lordi back. I have a dry throat. I love Lordi. I love the music. I love the hard rock. I love hard rock, right? That's my kind of music if it's done well. It was a little bit more pop inspired, of course, but that's why it makes it fun. So I loved Lordi. I don't think they should return. I think they did what they had to. And I know she's a little older now, but not too old, obviously, to take part. I would love to see Chiara from Malta back. Love her voice. Jesus. I'm having a really dry throat right now. I love her voice so much, and she's the reason I'm watching Eurovision. 1998 was the first time I watched Eurovision randomly, somewhere, and Chiara came on. I'm like, I love Eurovision. I'll be a Eurovision fan for the rest of my life, and so right. Okay, ESC Fan Forever is asking, I know you don't like X Factor Malta, but don't you think the national final system was not working for Malta? Yes-ish. Here's the thing. They needed to tweak the Maltese national final, but don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. That's what I'm saying. Just because it hasn't been working this past few years, you have to scrap it completely and change it. I think they had to come up more something of the kind of like a workshop, or bring down the number of participants, have like a pre-voting round, something like that. They needed to fix it. They didn't have to scrap it all the way. And if they feel as The Voice or something like that is the show they need to go with, I will support and respect it. I will just not watch it. Because it's unrelated. It's like, whatever. I will watch, don't get me wrong though, I will watch the show where they select the song if they have something like that. But the rest of them, I don't know if they just kind of went a little bit too cray about that. Okay, Elan Blue is asking, it was revealed that Alex P and Co will again be writing the Cypriot entry. Tamta will most likely sing it. I saw that. That would be great. Didn't he? He wrote so many good songs. This sounds like something Cyprus could really, really excel at. Tamta is super popular, granted. She'll have already a lot of fans from that area. I mean, they would get 12 points from Greece regardless. Bulgaria's not taking part, so they're not going to get points there. But there will still be a lot of points just coming towards Tamta just because of the name recognition, I'm sure, in certain parts of the country. Doesn't necessarily translate to success in other countries. Like, I don't think that Belgium cares a whole lot, but they will care about the song quality, and they have the right mix. They just need to have that final hook, that final thing that needs to really stand out and make it win. And they have the recipe for it. They can do it. So I think there's a reason why Cyprus will probably start up pretty high in the betting odds before we even have a song. Kind of like happened with Bulgaria last year. Do you think that Finland should go back to metal and rock songs? I would love to see Nightwish at Eurovision. Yes, yes. And don't get me wrong. I mean, as you know, I loved Blackbird. Blackbird. I loved their ballads a lot. But Finland is really good at rock, right? And I would love to see that. And I saw like me some good rock. Finland is one of the countries that knows how to do it. So yes. I don't know the status of Nightwish. I'm a little bit out of the loop here, but if they are anything like they used to be, by all means. If they was something like more like I know they're Dutch, like Within Temptation, that kind of style, with this like Evanescence, you know, those kind of bands I really, really dig, and something like that would be wonderful. Just my opinion. Okay, so ESVL97 says, do you think that semifinal format for Eurovision You Decide is needed? I don't know. See, I need to read up a little bit more on You Decide before I can make an educated suggestion or opinion on that. So forgive me for not being ready for this particular You Decide one. It seems confusing. So I will read up on that and get back to me. Ask me again in my next live stream, and I will have a more prepared answer for that. How about that? Will you do a reaction video for ESTLAO, ETSLYF? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I will need to listen to them now. I assume they're broken out already in Semi 1 and Semi 2, right? So I will listen to Semi 1 first, and then Semi 2, share my thoughts and my favorites. I just have to find... I'll be traveling this week for work, but I will bring my equipment with me, so I can do it from the hotel room, because I'll be sitting there being bored anyway. So I will do that. I travel a lot for work, in case you're wondering, like my real-time job. I wish I could do this full-time, but it's not financially as lucrative as you may think. Not at all. So any kind of support on Patreon or the Super Chats is always helpful. Do you think that's... we got that one already. Let me see if there are any questions. Who do you think is a potential next two-time winner? Johnny Logan. Like Johnny Logan, can it happen? It could happen. The countries that often have a little bit more of a great track record as of late. I could see if Sergei Lazarev comes back from Russia, he could win. I'm not sure if the juries will prevent that from happening, but he is a potential. Of course, Sweden is always a threat, so I could see Mats Zelmerlöw coming back and doing it again, but I don't think he will. But yes, potential, it's always less likely, right? It's difficult. I mean, Alexander Rybak couldn't even do it. So we have to wait and see, but short answer, yes, it can happen. So we have to see. Have you watched some of the Operación Triunfo contestants? Some of them are great, and I think they could deliver in Eurovision. I watched that one guy, and I forgot his name. It's not The Situation. That's from Jersey Shore. He has like a fun name. Destiny? Not what was it? I forgot his name. I think he's like the fan favorite right now. Love his voice. I watched a few of his performances, and I like his style. I think some of the songs were not necessarily the best choice for his style, but with the right song and the right combination, he could do really, really well. And give me the name, guys, gals. I don't remember his name. Forgive me, but I watched him quite a bit, and I'm like, depending on the song that he's been given, yes, on my radar. Absolutely. Absolutely. So this is basically all we had for today. Thank you for listening. Again, I will be posting more videos this upcoming week now that my birthday is over and Thanksgiving is done. I still be playing Red Dead Redemption, so don't hate me on that. Have a good night, everyone, and have a good famous. That's his name. Thank you, famous. I know it was one of those words. A random name. Is that his real name? Probably not. Yes, I'm referring to a famous Tashalu. That was the one. Anyway, so that is what I have for today. Thanks again for watching. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. That was really, really nice of you. And I wish you all a good day, a good night, and I'll be back. Make sure to subscribe. Otherwise, you won't be notified when I'm back. Bye-bye.